And it's Aaron Saenz here live at Bogus Stadium. Welcome to the Bird Bowl pregame show. Again, I'm Aaron Saenz, and I'm excited to bring you this live pregame show here at Bogus Stadium. It is a beautiful evening for some football here. Harlingen South is the home team tonight versus the Harlingen High School Cardinals. This is the 26th Bird Bowl. 26 years. Some of y'all may feel old with that one. 26 years, and we're excited. Big playoff implications tonight here on this field as both teams come in here fighting for perhaps the third and fourth spots here for district play. I'm excited this evening to have a few special guests with me on the show. First, we're going to bring up Mr. Theo, and he's going to come and talk to us a little bit about the history of Bird Bowl, and then we're going to get rolling here. We're going to talk a little bit about what's at stake here tonight in a while and what's going on in the field. But first, I'm going to introduce Mr. Theo. ¿Cómo está, brother? Good to see you. Come on in. Welcome to the pregame show, Mr. Theo. So how many years have you been here doing what you do?
You want me to reveal my age?
Yeah, well, you know, whatever you want.
Man, I've been here. I've worked in the press box for about 7 years.
7 years.
Right before that, I worked as an administrator in Harlingen for many years. So I've been through all the Bird Bowls. It's exciting. It's energizing. All of Harlingen comes out. It's wonderful.
What is one of your greatest memories so far? Can you go back in your memory and think, man, that Bird Bowl was special, or it was exciting, or whatever it may be?
I remember Bird Bowl 1. I was working the sidelines, and everybody, both team captains, you know, for the coin toss, you just felt the energy. Even at the coin toss, everybody got fired up because it was the first meeting of the Cardinals and the Hawks on the field, and it was just fantastic. It was energy, and it was a great game. If I remember correctly, the score was tied at the half 7-7, if I remember right. But it went down to the wire. Both coaches were brand new. Right. This was the first Bird Bowl. It was fantastic.
That was 26 years ago.
Pardon me?
26 years ago.
Is it?
It's a 26th Bird Bowl tonight here in Arlington, Texas.
Hey, when I grow up, I want to have a mustache just like him.
Hey, you know what? I grew this mustache just for Bird Bowl.
How do you?
Hey, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
Sorry, off the mark.
Hey, so okay, tell me. So, do you feel like the energy over time has shifted? Do you feel like there's still that same, you know, excitement? There's still that same rivalry going on?
You know, you can throw the records out.
Yes.
When you come to this game. You know, it doesn't matter who's been ahead, who's ahead, or what the record is coming into the game. You can just forget it because this is for, well, hometown pride. But I'll tell you what, at the end of the game, we're all brothers.
That's right.
We're all birds, and that, to me, is an example of how great this community is.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so that it's awesome. And, you know, I've never seen any bad blood throughout the years. It's a friendly rivalry, brother to brother.
I like that. That's an excellent point. You know, Dr. Cavazos likes to say that Harlingen wins tonight, right? So at the end of the night, one team is going to win and one team's going to lose. But overall, the city of Harlingen wins because we get to see all of our student athletes. You get to see all the cheerleaders, the band, dancers.
You know, and I grew up on the south side of Harlingen. If both high schools were around back then, I would have been a Hawk.
Okay.
You know, I have a cousin that's on the varsity team, a varsity coach in Harlingen South. So, you know, to me, it's like I always say, my blood is red, my money is green. I love both birds. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's right.
How's that?
Hey, I like that's good. Someone needs to quote that. Mr. Theo said that.
Hey, Brianna, this is your fault. This is your fault. You can blame her for that.
Hey, so you're the voice, ¿verdad?
For the Cardinal games.
That's
we
right.
have Jake on 2 who does the Hawk games, and we back each other up.
Yeah.
You know, so he's the young gun. He's fantastic. He's just awesome. But, you know, we split duties up there, and it's no exaggeration when there's teamwork. You know, everybody thinks it's real easy, but you've got to have somebody calling out the numbers of who ran with the ball, who made the tackle, and we're the ones. If I'm announcing, Jay is doing the spotting. So we alternate, and it's worked out great. So I have to hand it to Coach Creeders, who's put together a pretty decent team. And a lot of those guys are all older than me. Can you believe that? You know, so they're all retired teachers. Some of these guys have been up there since the 70s.
I wonder how many years of education is in that box.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot, right?
It goes into triple digits.
But tell me some
Don
of the,
Lance.
tell me some of those who are up there right now.
Well, Don Lance, he works the board.
Right.
You know, Tom Ball, he works the time
right.
and all that. And of course, Jay handles the tunes, you know, and then we alternate with the voice. But oh man, Tom and I all worked at Harlingen High School back when we had one high school. You weren't even born then.
Nope.
You know.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, we all go back and we're all close friends. We're good friends, and that's what makes it work. I don't ever recall any heated moment up there. You know, the pressure's on. You got to make sure you announce those names right.
See, now someone's going to be knocking on your door saying, hey.
And I had a kid that played, you know, football, so I understand how important it is to the parents, to the community. Get it right. You're going to do it right. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
Definitely.
and then I also had started working KHGN. We were the first group that did the football games. And so we got it off the ground, and it was humbling, and it was an honor for me to help that, you know.
Well, thank you for those roots, because now I get to enjoy that now, and, you know, calling with KHGN and doing what we're doing. So you're a trendsetter way back when, eh?
We work together, baby.
I love it.
All of us make it work right.
I love it. So tell me, let's talk about tonight's game. We've got a bird's eye view from the press box, right? You like that bird's eye view because it's Bird Bowl, right? Okay. So you've seen both teams play this year. I'm not going to ask you for a prediction. Don't worry about that. I won't get you in trouble. But what can we expect to see from the game tonight?
A lot of fire on both sides.
I think so.
You know, you've got a good offensive line on both sides of the ball. You've got a pretty darn good quarterbacks on both sides.
Right.
They can throw and they can run.
Right.
I remember seeing David Torres back when he was at Coke, and he was a quarterback, of course, back then. And we did the middle school games. And I remember Tom and I worked those games, and I remember saying, you know, hey, this kid, he is phenomenal. I mean, he was running and throwing bullets, you know, 40 yards on the mark. You know, so both of these quarterbacks are good. I think it's going to go down to the trenches. You know, it's going to go down to, you know, who controls the line of scrimmage. I
agree. Both teams are going to have to get the running game going to establish the pass, right? And so, like you said, Galvan on one side, you have Torres on the other side. You got a couple running backs for each squad as well. But to me, the strength of South has just been a defense. I think that really surprised a lot of people. That secondary, very strong this year. Cardinals always bring that Cardinal red defense, right? And so I think you're going to see a good little battle tonight. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to the trenches. I think whoever wins the trenches is going to have the edge tonight, because you got to put pressure on that quarterback.
Right.
You know, and you let him scramble and you let him gain control of the sidelines, it's going to be tough.
I agree.
So they're going to have to put pressure. I expect to see a lot of blitzing. You want me to be quiet already?
Nah, we're good.
Okay.
You're good.
She's telling you, hey.
This is golden. This is golden.
There's Eladio, the man, right there.
We brought you out from the box to the field.
Dude, right there. Anyway, I think expect to see a lot of blitzes. Expect to see a lot of combinations down in the gaps. You know, I'm an old football coach from Copeland.
Okay.
You know, so,
and I used to do battle in the trenches, so I understand when you say that.
Can you tell, guys? Can you tell? What's up?
So I like when you say that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's going to go down to the line of scrimmage. Who controls it on both sides of the ball?
All right, there you go, folks. So Mr. Deo's prediction is it's going to go down the line of scrimmage. So you can actually watch us live tonight. We're going to be listen to us live, I should say. We're going to be
awesome.
broadcasting live audio for those of y'all that can't make it. And we're going to try to bring the game to life for you all. But it's going to be exciting. I want to thank you so much for your time.
You bet, brother.
Thank you for doing what you do, for all your years of service here at ACISD.
Tax retreat.
That's right.
I love my baby. Hey. All right.
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for everything.
You got it,
Appreciate you. Bueno, we'll see you later. All right, that was Mr. Theo, and folks, you know, he's behind the press box there, and so he's the one that you hear his voice, for you Cardinal fans especially, but it's great to have him here on the field. I'm going to have another very special guest this evening. This is Mr. Eladio Jaimes. Eladio, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Awesome. So, Eladio, how are you, brother?
Before we get going, man, I love the mustache.
Thank you.
I love the mustache.
All right, I'm 2 for 2 on that now, right?
I saw it. When did I see it at the Bird Bowl breakfast? I wanted to say something then, but...
Thank you. I like to say I grew it up for Bird Bowl.
Absolutely. Well, it's a Bird Bowl mustache.
It is, man. It is. Yeah. So, all right. You know history. You know the past, the present. You're looking into the future, right?
Right.
What's different about tonight? Anything different about tonight from the past? Where are we at?
You know, the Valley Morning Star sports writers, they invited me earlier this week to go speak about the Bird Bowl. And they asked me similar questions, like, tell us about the Bird Bowl. Is there anything different? Every year is a different Bird Bowl. That's right. You know, every year there's different fans in the stands. There's different families. There's different players. You know, it's all the obvious. But the one thing that I focus on that remains constant is what I spoke to a little bit at the Bird Bowl breakfast, and that's the pride that each school has, you know. And we talked about the disparity in the series, the 21-4, and they asked, like, you know, and they, as sports writers, they asked me as a former, what is it? I said, I don't know, because the talent's there every year, and every year I spoke to one of the sports writers, and he said, well, if there's a year for South to win, it's this year, you know. And I said, you know how many times I've heard that one?
Yeah, right.
You know, how many times out of the 25 I've heard that? Yeah. Well, if this is the year for South to win, this is the year. And that only goes to the talent that the school, that South has, and this year's no different. They have a lot of great players out there. They have a really solid defense.
It's a young team, too.
And it's a young team, too. And so what's different about this year? Not much. It's Bird Bowl, and it's Harlingen versus Harlingen.
Records out the window.
Records out the window, although maybe what you can say that is a little bit different is that
playoff implications.
There's playoff implications. Right. There's third place on the line.
Yes.
If South takes the win tonight, they're in line to win a sheriff district title too, because they got Hannah at the end of the season for the last game, and it doesn't look like Hannah might drop one. You know, you never know. Let's can upset tonight. But as far as differences every year, there's small differences, but that's what I like about the Bird Bowl is that every year the community comes together, and takes their frustrations out on each other.
For one night, and then it's over.
On the field, or 1 week, really, you know. And I always tell people, if you looked at my Facebook feed, and my social media feed, you have a bunch of my friends. I was in the second graduating class after the split. You have Hawks and Cardinals that have gone on and moved anywhere from across the valley to across the world, and when it comes to Bird Bowl week, there's that, you know, there's that rivalry. You know what? If there's one thing I've noticed different this year, especially on social media, I see a lot of former Cardinals that are wearing the green and orange.
Oh, because of kids?
Because of kids. Because of kids, you know, and that's good. You know, you kind of grow that rivalry a bit more. You know, there's parents who were Cardinals and now their kids are Hawks. And, you know, of course they're going to support their kids. You know, they're going to be that champion for their kids. But, you know, I'm sure at home there's a little bit of rivalry. When I was a Cardinal and now you're, you know, and that's the fun part. That's the fun, clean part of this rivalry. People often ask me, also when I was a sports writer and even after, it's like, for the Cardinals, because I graduated from Harlingen, for the Cardinals, which one's more important, the Battle of the Arroyo or the Bird Bowl? I say they're different, you know? They're different because the Battle of the Arroyo, you have an intense rivalry with your neighboring town, your neighboring city. And with this one, it's with your own
neighbors,
with your own house,
actual neighbors.
It's your own house, you know.
Makes sense.
And so it's a friendly rivalry from the beginning. It's been intense, you know. It might as well be 1993 every year because it's intense, and I really enjoy it. And I'm looking forward to another good game.
Awesome. Well, you know, Eladio, I'm sure everybody knows him, but not, he's one of our awesome school board members, and we just appreciate just the love that you have for the school district, for the community, for the kids. You know, you're everywhere, and I appreciate that. I know folks watching at home, they appreciate that too. And so we thank you for your service and just for the history that you bring to it, obviously. And then, of course, like I said, always looking to the future, right?
I can't believe it's 26.
It's crazy, right?
Because I graduated with Bird Bowl too, so if you want to feel
You're
young.
giving away your age. Somebody's pulling out a calculator right now. How old is Eladio?
41. I'm 41. I'm proud of it.
There you go. I like that.
I feel 31.
I like that.
I feel 31. Not in the mornings, but I feel 31. But I love this community. I love Harlingen, and I love the people here. These are my people, our people, and, you know, everybody. And I'm any little bit I can do to give back to this community that's given me so much.
Well, we feel that.
It's always an honor.
We feel that.
Thank you.
And we thank you so much for everything.
Thank you, brother. Enjoy the game.
All right. Yes, you too.
And
it's going to be awesome.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Hey, I love it.
Not just game nights, but whenever the district calls, you're there, and we appreciate that.
Well, I think we have a mutual love for this city and for everything that goes on here, and so keep up the great work. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
man. All right.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for being on. All right, folks. There you go. Mr. Eladio Jaimes, one of our awesome school board members here, and lots of history, talking about the present, talking about really getting to the community and the home feel, if you will. Like I said, I was thinking about that too. You know, right now, a lot of you former Cardinals now are Hawk fans because your kids are cheering, they're in the band, they're on the field, and talking about bands, talking about the arts, Mr. Ronnie Rios. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
I always love talking to you.
Thank you for having me out here. This is a wonderful night for the community to come together, the Hawk side, the Cardinal side,
Right.
everybody's side, and enjoy the football game, the halftime entertainment, the post-game entertainment, the ambiance of just a wonderful tradition here in Harlingen.
There will be post-game entertainment today, right?
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that.
Tonight at halftime, if you don't mind me, I'm going to plug
Go
the
for it.
Hawk
Plug it.
Band.
Plug it.
They're going to play at halftime, and then we're going to have a special performance dedicated to children that have been battling childhood cancer.
That's right.
And so we want to bring focus to that. We're also going to feature all the 8th grade band students in the entire city at halftime.
Nice.
And then after the game, we're actually going to have the award-winning Cardinal Band perform for their fans before they head to state championships at the Alamo Dome,
When
San
do
Antonio.
they head to state?
They leave Sunday afternoon.
Okay, Sunday afternoon. So both bands had great seasons. Right?
Both bands had tremendous seasons. They were successful at Pigskin. They moved on to the area round of competition for UIL in Laredo. And the Cardinal Band was able to advance to that final round at the state championships in the Alamo Dome. So we're very proud of them. They've been working hard. Both bands were working hard all season long, and it's just a beautiful time here in the community. Wonderful time of the year, and we've had Halloween the day before yesterday, and Thanksgiving's around the corner, and I'm already getting Christmas carols on my XM radio. So
I love it. I love it.
That's 'tis the season, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so we talk a lot about, you know, Bird Bowl, right? And it's more than, I want to make sure people know, it's more than just football. I mean, if you look at sheer numbers, right, there's more band students than there is football players tonight.
Well,
right?
There's a lot of band students.
There
Tonight
is.
especially.
Yeah.
Maybe
With the 8th graders, too.
With the 8th graders, so we're looking at almost 700 kids that play band instruments that will be here tonight, and of course their parents.
That's right.
That said, there's a rich tradition in Harlingen with the athletic side of the house, and we're going to have alumni that maybe played on the Cardinal football team or the Hawk football team in the years past. So it's always exciting to see those players come back and stay connected to their community in which they grew up in. So it's a positive experience. I love everyone, but of course I got a lot of work after this interview to get ready to get this, make sure that we're set for tonight's performances. And it's just a beautiful, calm night. There's no water or rain in the forecast, just some cool weather.
Right.
So it should be nice for all of us. And it's great for the entire city. It's going to be a beautiful night. I can't wait for it to start.
It's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. Lots of, entertainment, lots of, whether it be the sports, whether it be the bands. I love it here because when the bands perform afterwards, usually the fans stay. People stay to listen, and I love that about this city, right?
I do too. I tell the kids that that's actually one of the most enjoyable performances because you have band fans that want to stay on purpose after the game. And it's a quiet atmosphere, so it's
no rush.
Yeah. The fans are reacting and applauding to the applaud moments in the performance. So it's a win-win, and the kids feel good about it, and they're the last ones in the stadium usually to get out, and they just have that sense of ownership that they belong here and this is part of them, and it's part of their upbringing and part of their connection to the school district that they'll never forget and take with them, forever. So.
Well, we appreciate it. I know you have a lot of work to do, but I just want to thank you for coming on set and spending a few minutes with us here. And it's always great to have you because you just raise everybody's energy level. Like, I feel pumped up. I'm ready for the game, so I want to thank you for all that you do.
I'm going to go give a pep talk to the bands right
go.
now. Before the
get
game starts, I'm going to get them fired up and make sure those instruments are tuned and oiled. Trombones are put together correctly.
I like it. Make sure have them around the tunnel.
Haven't run out of
That'd be kind of hard.
I saw that. I think that was there's a football. I think we're okay.
We're good.
So I actually saw that back. I think that's a 90s reference or an 80s reference where the Stanford football team was actually on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And the game was still going on. So
That's
trombone
awesome.
player.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
didn't
that.
quite get the best of that situation.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's not a bad idea for us. If you'll allow me to plug real quick,
Yeah,
we have.
please, go for it.
Speaking of students coming out of the Victory Tunnel, we do have a citywide pep rally tomorrow, Saturday, at 3 p.m. in the afternoon at HHS at the Cardinal Field to help celebrate the Big Red Cardinal Band advancing to state championships. It's open to the community. It's free. and there'll be a few guest speakers there. And, I think Eladio Jaimes will be one of our speakers. He just left a set, and the band will be doing a performance to conclude the ceremony. So it'll be a beautiful thing. If you're not busy, come on out tomorrow, community of Harlingen, Texas, at Harlingen High School on Marshall Street at the Cardinal Field, and help celebrate this incredible honor at 3 p.m. It's free and open to the public.
Awesome. Hey, Ronnie, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. And have a great rest of your evening, sir.
Go Harlingen, right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Rios. It's always a pleasure having him on set, folks. Again, 3 o'clock tomorrow, we're going to be having a citywide pep rally for the Harlingen Cardinal band as they get ready and prepare to go to state. And so, hey, folks, you've heard from a few different people. You've heard from Mr. Theo, who's up in the box, who's one of the voices here at Bogus Stadium. You heard also from Eladio Jaimes and his history here and graduating just recently after the split and or separation and or planting of the new school. And now you heard from Mr. Ronnie Rios as well. So let's talk a little bit about some football, folks. I'm excited tonight. I'll be calling the game here. Live audio again. You can join us here if you're out of town or out of state even. You can join us on live audio as we're going to bring you the live audio broadcast through Real Sports Live on YouTube, and we're going to be bringing this live game. It's a big game tonight. You know, Harlingen South coming in, they're 2-1 in district. They're sitting really nice with a game tonight and one more next week. And then Harlingen comes here 1-2, but they're still scratching and clawing to get into that playoff race. Remember, 4 of the 6 teams in 32-6A will make it to the playoffs. Both these teams are still in contention tonight. Here's the key things. Harlingen South wins tonight, they're in. That's it. They don't have to depend on anybody else. Yeah, seeding will be dependent upon how they do next week, but they're either in the 3rd or the 4th place spot. Harlingen High, they need to win tonight. They need a win tonight and a Los Fresnos loss in order to be able to punch their ticket. If Harlingen High wins tonight, Los Fresnos loses, they're in. Harlingen South, they got to wait for next week, but they still have a good shot. Bottom line, both teams here tonight have a chance to make playoffs. Remember, Harlingen High did not make the playoffs last year. South, it's been a while since they've been in the playoffs. So who has the upper hand coming in schedule-wise right now? And that's going to be South. Now they're going to come to this field. Harlingen High is ready. They've been off a tough loss to the Battle of Arroyo. Last week they showed up well against Los Fresnos, so they're ready, locked and loaded. A couple of key things for them. You got to watch for Jaime Galvan. Galvan, the quarterback. I'm watching him warm up right here. He's excited. He feels good. He's got a little pep in his step. He can throw the ball and he can run the ball. He is the key to that Cardinal offense tonight. If he can get loose, if he can get that running game going that frees him up to pass, he's going to do it. Look at David Torres on Harlingen South side. He's also a dual threat. However, he prefers to stand in the pocket and throw the ball. He's got a couple of big receivers. He's got Delgado, and he has Bennett. And so they're going to be looking to open up that short to mid-range passing. That'll then open up that long-range pass that is possible to stretch the field and really stretch the Harlingen Cardinal defense. It's going to be good, folks. And both teams this year are boasting good defense. That is something that is different for this year. Harlingen High, of course, always comes in with Coach Gomez's defense and is strong. They're always blitzing. They have blitz packages, I believe, tonight that we have not seen yet. We're going to see it on the field tonight. But Harlingen South this year, their secondary is phenomenal. Safeties, cornerbacks. They got an amazing secondary on that team, and they're able to keep passing teams short. They're able to keep them up front, keeping things from going deep on them. And so it's going to be a battle tonight. I don't really have a prediction, honestly. I've thought about it a lot. I've gone back and forth. I don't feel comfortable making a prediction because somebody was going to get mad at me, all right? But either way, I don't have a prediction. However, I do know that it can go either way tonight. I think we're going to see it come down to who makes the most mistakes and who has the ball at the end. And so if you're interested in joining us on this live audio broadcast, I would love to invite you to do so. Aaron Sines will have the call, along with Joe Bowling of Real Sports Live. And we're going to be bringing you the call here at 7:30. So in about an hour's time, set your clocks on your phone, set your alarm to join us at 7:30 live from the booth. We're going to bring you play-by-play. We're not able to bring you live video as per UIO rules, but we will bring you the live audio as a radio broadcast online through YouTube. And so, folks, I hope you join us here in about an hour if you can't make it. If you're still thinking about coming out to the game, come on out. There's no reason not to. Beautiful night. It's nice and brisk here in the field, and both teams are warming up. They're excited. We've got 8th graders. We've got Cano Freshman Academy people. We got the cheerleaders. The bands are coming in. It's getting excited. It's getting hyped in here. We got fans on both sides, South and Harlingen High, South being the home team. So, folks, make it on to the game tonight. Again, an elongated game. Going to have a special presentation at halftime for children's cancer awareness, and then a special performance by the Harlingen High Cardinal Band right after the game is over. Again, thanks for joining us on this live pregame show. Aaron Saenz here with you, and I hope that you enjoyed the personalities and the history that we had on the show. Bird Bowl is a big deal here in Harlingen, Texas, and we're here tonight to celebrate that.